The following day, Jeff, Kenny, and I decided to go to the library to do some research. And for some reason, Jeff decided to get some footage of my award-winning ass. You're welcome, Internet. A library may not be the most exciting place to go to, but at least Jeff was able to find something to keep himself entertained.
We're like, what the hell was that? Really, I mean, it's really over the top when it occurs.
Okay.
And there's, it's not repeatable, I can't capture it, I can't test it. I keep telling people I can find an explanation, gigantic raccoon, something, but I don't know.
Well, we'll take a look and we'll see what we can find while we're here.
Yeah, hopefully, Kenny will get to experience some of that stuff and maybe, I don't know, figure it out, or just, it's a demon.
Yeah, like I said.
Very skeptical of that.
Yeah, and I can see where the demon things I was telling you earlier can come into play, and I gotta be careful on that because I don't really know what a demon. I get the concept of the demon.
Who started that? Okay, all right.
I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna start searching. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started to really dig in.
Really?
Yeah, like really, like
Really?
man, yeah.
Really?
Like 10 reallys.
It doesn't sound like enough.
Yeah, okay, we'll make it 30 reallys.
That's better.
I'm gonna go 31.
Okay, well, we got 32 because I don't like odd numbers.
Okay.
But nothing. Like what I came up with was, the papers. You guys already know 3 people had died in the house, including the infant.
Yeah, I talked to the library over there, the Historical Society, and she said that there's no records that they have of any murders or any foul play.
Oh, the lady, is she an old lady?
Michelle? I just through email. So I didn't.
Oh yeah, cause I talked to her and she thought Dan, who owns the jail across the street, owns this place, and she is not a Dan fan.
Okay.
Not a Dan fan.
Yeah,
at
some
all.
people reached out to, I think, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it didn't make banner headlines.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going over there tomorrow anyway for a little bit just to look through.
Yeah, I will.
Because there's some newspapers that I wasn't able to access without paying for, like
Really?
separately. Yeah, the Hartford City Telegraph, I think.
Yeah.
Like they have their own subscription archive, which
Really?
I can't stand. But I want to go see if they have some microfilm.
But
So I can look through it.
yeah, that would be cool. Oh shit, I got you.
That'd be cool if you find some. I know some have done that.
Right.
Tried to go through, but
I'm sure. Yeah.
that's when it dawned on me, like I said, if
Where-
it wasn't some spectacular banner headlines, it's hard to really.
Right.
Where?
Because you didn't even know about the fire, and I talked to some officials, they said there was no fire here until I showed them. And they said, I'll be damned. It was a big fire.
Well,
And I talked to a guy that said he can't believe they didn't know it. He's seen the fire about a year. He said, yeah, it was coming out of the roof and everything. I said, yeah, I got proof. We could get in the attic, you could see where they had to rebuild it all.
Where was that? The person that said he saw it.
Where he seen it from?
No,
Yeah.
because I thought it took place around 1900.
No, there was a couple fires.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think there was 3 totals, what I'm told.
I have the tax records that indicate there was improvements done to the house in 1900. So that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's
was
accurate.
done. And then there was a garage fire or barn fire.
Yeah, there's a barn fire.
Barn fire that was on the property.
So there may have been an actual different structure here before the house.
That's what well, from what I found, it said that there was a fire, but there was still some structure left over that was solid. So they built onto it.
Yeah. So that's So that's what I was having that conversation with Pam, and she's like, they
I
used.
do remember, yeah.
She's She's like, yeah, it was very common for, like, if they found lumber that survived a fire, they would use it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even, like, at any point in time in history, lumber's always been expensive.
It was harder to get back then too. They didn't have Lowe's and stuff, and
Right.
they had to have it milled. So it was just.
And it was a different time when you actually didn't just throw away stuff just because you used it.
The whole thing with the infant being buried in the crawl space, that's what I heard from, and I was like, nothing like that is fucking crazy. Like, why would somebody do that? And I always question that. I ended up finding the death certificate.
Yeah.
And no.
I feel bad because the mother's still alive.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah. And she freaked out. You knew that. She wanted to come in here because she thought her son was here. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Your son's okay.
That's a touchy situation. You don't want to get into.
No, I don't. That's playing with somebody's emotion.
A parent's worst nightmare is losing a child. One of my younger brothers passed away at the age of 13. My mom was devastated, and she was never the same after that.
Doesn't it make you wonder if the anomaly that occurs in here might have always been around here? If it's something to do with something, if it's real. I mean, if it's, I don't know what, the ghost thing, I don't.
Well, so what I've run into when I was doing some research on people who because it used to be a HUD house or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's true, yeah. I bought it through HUD.
Yeah. There was a family who claimed that they were seeing a woman in the house.
Yeah.
They lived here. And
Yeah,
that's where the story of the woman who hung herself came from.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
Where
not.
did the story originate?
This would be in the 90s.
Like, but where, not when, but where was the story? Like, was it something posted on
It was
a forum? Or?
Yeah, it was something posted by somebody who had lived, and I did check it out, and it is their name or their last name is on the deed.
Okay.
Or not the deed, but I mean on the thing where whatever the hell it is that shows that they had lived here, and that family.
So in the census.
Kind of, not
Like an abstract.
It's the records. When you can pull up the records on the house.
So a deed search.
Yeah, I guess.
You do a deed search, a title search.
Yeah, something like
it goes
that, yeah.
back, shows you everyone who's doing the ownership.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like trying to explain it all. Trying to be quick about it too, though. They live in Texas now. That family, they live in Texas. But I mean, other than that, I have not heard anybody say anything about the house being haunted or anything like that. It all comes up to the point where that one guy, when he lived here, and his buddy, and they were doing the satanic rituals and stuff like that.
It sounds almost like it just became, one person started a rumor or story, and it just mushroomed from
What
that.
about the lady that lived here last? I guess her and her son had issues.
They're the ones that are in Texas.
There's another lady, she's still in town because a guy that's friendly with her, you might have met her, said she's not responding now. He wanted to talk to her again.
Okay, so Michael and I, actually, Michael had to go to the mall to get himself a black shirt. And we ran around.
Not a ghost hunter if you don't have a black shirt.
Amen, thank you. That's right.
Anyways, the last place we went to, of course, is where he got a shirt from. But we did find a woman who worked there who said her cousin used to live in this house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'd love to fucking interview the guy. Like, today, tomorrow, let him know.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Nothing.
And she said, yeah, she talked about some of the things that went on here when he lived here. So hopefully,
Yeah. Time frame, like what years?
it would have to be in the 90s.
Okay.
I think she did. I believe she said 90s.
It would have to, yeah, because you bought the house from 2000s.
Yeah, I did.
2005 or
Early 2000.
I have
Yeah.
to get my file. I'm looking to see what.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't hear. Of course, when you're looking to buy homes to flip, there's no info on whether it's haunted or not. And at the time, I don't know if that would have changed my mind because I was very skeptical of that stuff.
So what's your, if you don't mind me asking, what's your intention with the house?
The original intentions?
Your intentions now? Like, I believe your original one was to flip it?
Yes, that was the beginning. That's what I do, or to rent it out.
Okay.
Fix it up. Rent it out. But after the stories from the neighbors at the time, I realized that, boy, it was awful strong. The stigma is really strong, so I shut it down for quite a few years. You know, let it calm down, everybody forget about it.
Okay.
Because, you know, you got to put 30, 50 grand into a place and you can't rent it out.
Yeah.
It's a little scary, and so I shut it down for a little bit. But right now, long story short, my wife wants to keep it.
Okay.
So I'm into science, museums, so I'm going to slowly do a few rooms, not the entire house, which I intended on, but make it a museum about the paranormal. You know, try to find the actual, what people think are artifacts, you know, books, stuff like that, so they can come up with their own conclusions on what they think.
Okay.
You know, the history of poltergeist, where that originated from, dedicate a room to it, that kind of stuff.
So what about bones that I hear about in the basement?
Did you heard they came out and did ground penetrating radar?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I heard it was like not a full thing. It was just kind of a cursory sweep, but it wasn't a full.
Yeah, it was a full sweep.
It was a full
Big
sweep.
machine. And $20,000-$30,000.
Like they did the whole outside and inside?
No, they wanted to do the inside and side yards, but I stopped it at that point.
Okay.
Because I was trying to kill the idea, because there used to be a church across the street, and they said this was the cemetery. And then
That's something when I talked to the Historical Society, they said no. That it was not, there was no record of a cemetery being over here.
that's good. That's what I said. I said there isn't,
Okay,
but
all right,
being that there was a church there, it was plausible.
Because I thought the same thing. I thought, because I'm used to seeing small churches or small town churches with their cemetery right next to it or right across the street.
Exactly.
I also brought up the idea that maybe it was a private family lot. Depending on how far back it goes.
Yeah.
If this was more sparse, you're talking like pre-1850s, 1840s.
Yeah.
So maybe it was more open, a little bit more farmland, and they had a private lot. Because I still see that throughout like Pennsylvania, New York, and stuff like that, where it's small, like 3, 4.
Did you know they're not documented?
Yes.
A lot of them are not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's some, we know where some, because of the history too, we know the location of some people, but we're not for sure exactly where they were buried on a farm. So that's pretty common in the state. But yeah, I let them do the backyard because I thought, well, if they don't find anything, you know, I got redemption. There's nothing here. But I was afraid if they find stuff, it would escalate.
To something where it was
now it's going to get at it. Or that didn't bother me because there's some laws on it. You're right, they could probably. I
got the Indiana law.
Yeah.
For finding remains and artifacts.
Yes. Yeah. It's I was more worried about people taking a store and blowing it up. You know, like there was a.
That's fair.
That worried me a little bit.
Okay.
Because you know, let's keep it quiet, try to figure out what's going on instead of making stuff up or exaggerating. I shouldn't say make up.
Well, I mean, that's you're going to get that anyway, because now, I mean, I've seen exploitation, exaggeration just from it being on at least 2 shows, 2 ghost hunting shows, and everyone else is just speculated. It's definitely rituals. It's definitely this and that.
I know.
And I mean, I shake my head because I get disgusted when people exaggerate and just start making up.
That's
facts.
human nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but like for me, I find it's irresponsible because now they're putting out this story that they made up using these elements out into the public.
Right.
And other people are getting influenced and coming here expecting the same thing.
Yeah, that's human nature, and that's to make your show look better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the concept of it, but it is, you know, there's very little science involved.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I'll say it again. absolutely not religious at all. The ghost thing was
Neither am I.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Till if the rare events that occur here, some of them were pretty close, where I could have a second to kind of, they don't last, but just seconds, that I start to wonder, you know, when you scrutinize a room real hard and the sound came from the room, you're sure of that, you know, and it's very clear. I had other guys with me. I don't know how that could be. I can't see vocal cords, but I'm hearing something. The just stuff like that, just the optical ones are really troubling for me.
The only thing I can do is speculate because I wasn't there with you when you experienced that. So
Yeah.
anything I might say, I'm not trying to debunk you or prove you wrong.
Kenny's not an asshole. I mean, he is.
Hey,
But-
hey, I am, but
He
not.
is.
I can be professional.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. Because I hate to say it, I was an asshole. Because I said that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hearing what Eddie has to say, I really hope it brings more insight as to where Eddie stands with the paranormal. Eddie admits that he doesn't understand it. He only knows what he has experienced. And even then, he's still baffled by it.
I wasn't even listening. What happened? Oh, man, I was in my head.
Go ahead.
Cameras are on you.
Oh, all cameras on me. Wow.
So first off, there was a death in this back bedroom.
Okay.
He was visiting his daughter and son-in-law, and yeah, he died.
Who?
Nothing crazy. Jones.
Do we know how he died?
Yeah, basically heart attack. Natural causes.
Okay.
I think this is the last. Isn't it Jones?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Isn't it Emma?
It's not Myers, is it?
I'll be right back.
I believe it was Jones.
I'm going to get you.
Yeah, let's make sure of that.
Yeah. We don't want to do a session looking for Jones when it's not there.
Yeah. Although it might be interesting if that's correct.
Stupid fucking ghost hunters talking to someone that in there.
I can't remember his first name off the top of my head, but
Hey, he's gone. Start provoking or some shit.
yeah.
Now you listen here, you little piece of shit demon.
What's your best act, Baggins?
We are upstairs in the Jones room.
Well, we think the Jones was in there.
In a room we believe to be the Jones room.
If we're wrong, it's Joe's fault.
I am Michael Bryce, and you are watching Michael Bryce and Friends.
Michael and his friends, they roam the night in haunted houses filled with fright. Ghosts and ghouls around the bend, a hunt that never seems to end. Come along, let's take a peek. In the attic, ghosts, they sneak, with flashlights glowing in the dark, searching for that telltale spark. Spooky friends on the ghost hunt trail, laughter echoes, faces pale. In the night where shadows loom, ghostly whispers fill the room.
Keep telling him. Keep telling him that. This is great, man.
Oh, the timing is so good on this.
Sounds like a kid show. Oh, that's way better. You look way better with this light on.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm a warm light kind of guy, you know?
Me too.
Yeah, man.
I would turn the damn lights off. I'm ugly kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm more that way too, but if I have to, it's gotta be a warm one. Otherwise I look pale and sick. Kenny with the answers.
Oh, God, I hit a little
as the answer.
I mean, he does have a bigger
What?
file. He's got a bigger file in this place than I do, so I'm gonna go with what he says.
All mine are on
Yeah.
computer. There's a couple. There's like 2 things that I'm missing that he has that, which is actually cool because I didn't know about that one family. And now I know.
Are you allowed to say or not?
Harry Myers?
Good luck saying the last name.
Oh.
Harry Myers.
I will say this, I'm definitely getting one of those tripods, I like that. This camera's already getting heavy.
So we have, let's see. That's the driver.
That's it.
City. Harry Myers died at midnight Sunday in his residence in Hartford City.
Yeah, that's not him.
So yeah, because he was
his
living
father.
here.
It was his father-in-law that was.
You said he passed away of natural causes?
Yeah.
Did he live here?
No, he came here to visit his daughter.
William R. Jones, aged 81, retired farmer who has lived in and around Alexandria for the past 62 years, died early Thursday at the home of his daughter, Mrs. H.B. Myers, at Hartford City. The body was brought here today. Mr. Jones, whose home was on Park Avenue, became ill with, I don't know what that is, P-I-E-U-R-I-S-Y. I don't know what that is. About a month ago,
Heart attack.
and was taken to Laura's home at Hartford City, native of Maryland. Blah, 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 yeah, and the rest of it is probably members and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are no mysterious deaths there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know exactly where Harry died in the house. I just know that Mr. Jones is the one that passed away up here.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't say I just know. That's what is believed. I don't think at that point in time anybody was living up here. That it may have been vacant. But, that's the story. So.
Michael, do you want to talk to Mr. Jones?
Would love to talk to Mr. Jones. If there is a Mr. Jones in here with us, can you please make yourself known? Knock on a door, knock on a wall. Make any sort of sound. Let us know that you are here with us.
Be specific.
Yeah,
Where
gotta be specific. Can't leave it open like that.
Right, but
we have to keep in mind it's windy outside, it's raining, and we could hear a knock anywhere, and it could be.
right.
So, be specific.
Here you go. I'll give you something to do.
Cut.
Knock this over. Ugh. I would be completely impressed if that gets knocked over. Not by any of us. Looking at you, Jeff.
Why me? Just shut your eyes.
Because you're the troublemaker.
Shut your eyes and mind your own business.
I know how you fuckers work.
Did you find my fishing line in my backpack?
Yeah, I took it.
Kenny needed more.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if you could knock over that flashlight. That would be impressive. Then I'll get the blame. And we'll argue for 45 minutes.
So,
We could make a really good video if you want to, because I do have my magician's thread. So we could probably make anything, almost anything move, and you would never be able to pick it up on any of your cameras.
Put it at the very beginning, make people think that, oh my God, something happened and Kenny was there, and then show what really happened.
Yep. There goes your career.
Hey, as long as we show it and we're honest about it, say, yeah, we're just kidding around, whatever. I don't think anybody.
No,
can
because
use
one of
it.
them top 5 channels will take.
Oh yeah, they'll take just that
Show
one
it.
thing
Yeah.
and then clean
Take
it.
out the audio, and then put in what they want.
Yeah.
That's definitely a funny thing too that I found in some of my videos is that people will bitch about it, call me all kinds of stuff, and you can tell they've never watched it. It's like, watch the damn video. I tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Did you knock over the flashlight like Kenny wanted to? We got him to participate. This is a monumental event.
That's it. That's where I draw the line. I'm done.
That's your contribution.
Yeah, he's not investigating with us anymore. I don't even want to investigate with us anymore. I don't even want to investigate with me.
Kick it.
If I don't kick it, then we don't have a good video. I wish I had a place to put this camera. I'm doing the
That one tripod I have set
VR.
up for phones if you want me to grab
Doing
that.
that VR thing, because no investigator done it before.
What?
These
So
are
you put the
3D
goggles on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be in VR, baby.
Great. So I can be fat in 3D. That's all I want. That's what I want for Christmas.
Yeah, the 2D can definitely help us fat guys sometimes if we're set the right way. There's no hiding in 3D.
I seen some pretty crazy stuff with the Meta VR headsets. Yeah, it's,
Oh, you have one of those?
well, my son does.
Oh,
I mean, it's pretty cool, but I've seen some things.
I played the Spider-Man game with those on once. Like the first time I ever put those on, I fucking fell over, man. That shit was crazy. Jumping off the buildings on it.
Alright, so rather than trying to get him to do freaking tricks and shit like that for right now, let's see if we can try to have a conversation with him. Mr. Jones, right over there, right behind my friend Jeff there's a digital recorder. I think you know what it is. I mean, people have been here a million times saying, there's a digital recorder in there, and then give them instructions on how to use it. Like, they can't be that stupid. 100,000 people come in here.
Yeah.
Do not underestimate the community. It can happen.
So anyways, I don't know if anybody's actually tried to have a proper conversation with you, but again, there's that device on the ground there. I'm gonna ask the dumbest question you could ever ask.
Are you just prepping me? So, please don't yell at me. I'm letting you know ahead of time.
No, I would say it if you weren't here. How have you been doing? You doing okay here?
That was Kenny season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was breathing a sigh of
I said season.
impatience.
Buckle up, dude. It's gonna be a long night.
I can see the steam coming out of your ears.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all right. I'm just chilling with my
Can we
friends.
butter you up with a cocktail?
Yes, but Joe won't allow it. What's going on? What happened to your ghost hunt? I don't know. Kenny got drunk. He got mad.
That could actually end up working in our favor. He could get drunk and be like, all right, fuck it, bring out those headphones and let's do Urbex.
That'll just make me angry.
So, do a lot of people acknowledge that Mr. Jones passed away here in videos that you've seen?
No,
Or is that
I know.
so no one knows about him?
I mean, they should. I mean, they're running off the rumors and stuff like that. I've never heard an investigator actually call for Mr. Jones.
So, Mr. Jones, do you like actually being addressed and asked questions? Since it sounds like it doesn't happen very often. What did you do for work?
That's Kenny. That's me. Hey, every time you make a sound, you gotta call it out, or otherwise.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Or-
in here.
Because if you don't call it out, that's where the EVPs come from.
Well,
Me.
if you didn't label every fucking thing paranormal.
No,
Not you. Not you.
I don't either.
Not you. Yeah.
I haven't had a paranormal thing happen in.
God, somebody breathed. Must be a ghost.
It happens, though. That's the thing.
Mr. Jones, is there something in this building that is nastier, that you don't like or maybe bothers you?
Yeah, Michael. Sorry, I about myself.
Moist Michael.
Go ahead and ask that question again, Jeff. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
That's fine. No, jokes are good because we know nothing's gonna happen, so we gotta add some humor to it. So is there anything in this building other than you? If you're even here with us, first, confirm that you're with us by knocking over that flashlight if you can. We're trying to impress our friend here that isn't the biggest believer. And he did say he'd be impressed if you could knock that over.
You can just find a way to debunk it, though. Let's be honest.
He'll accuse me of jumping up and down over here.
You breathe too hard, Jeff.
Yeah.
I saw him try to blow it over.
And it didn't work. Watch, I'll try it again. See, it doesn't work.
It just took a while.
It took time to travel. Had to pressurize the room.
Is this the room that people say they feel the vibrating in?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is also the room, one of the rooms they claim the satanic rituals happened.
Oh. I would have figured that was a dull one.
Apparently there's, it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
And again, like this story about the satanic ritual came from one person, right?
Two people, actually, who were doing the rituals. Just this guy was like the main guy who was.
So both people came forward?
There were two people. Only one, as far as I know, did.
Okay, so then, yeah, that
But
means only one person.
But he, acknowledges that there was a second person. One of his friends.
But like, yeah, I mean, he can acknowledge there's 10 people, but it's still only one source that it's coming from. So, yeah, who knows what he did? If he actually did anything.
Did he say he was like skilled or, like been in it for years?
Why
or
not?
just fucking
I'm
around?
gonna be honest with you. It just seems amateur,
Okay.
but
All right, so like your basic B movie
yeah.
kind of. Let's do this and light some candles and.
They found a stick figure in the crawl space, and I swear to God, it looks like something come out of the Blair Witch Project. And he put it in there, so we know where that inspiration probably came from, I guess. But
So this is a story at best.
I mean, he says he did it, and he apparently
I can fly.
open that window, Jeff.
No. I said I can do it. That's all. That should be good enough. I said it. So that's but that's my point. Like the guy said it, yeah, big deal. Like we have nothing from it.
But maybe he offered more to lend credibility to the story that we just didn't hear.
Because we don't know the entire story, but I will tell you, this book, it's terrible.
Oh, he has a book?
Yeah, he's got 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he talk about this place in the book?
Well, a lot of these poems were, I guess, written on paper when he lived here, and then he put it in book form, those poems. Yeah, they're pretty fucked up, and you can tell, you know, he drugs, drinking, and things like that.
Oh, that story just gets better. Drinking and drugs. And now we have an
Talking about
amateur
dancing with the devil.
satanic ritual to summon demons, I guess. Who talked to him? Eddie?
A few people did. Not sure if he talked to Eddie or not, but a few people did. And there was I guess he did do an interview or something like that, but it magically disappeared, which...
It's could be.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll talk about that later.
I gotta get him.
Ooh, off-camera discussion.
Okay,
Yay.
well, we got 17 other ones more, but I'll be right back.
Get another battery. You do it, Jeff. Get another
I will.
battery.
I will.
I'll be back. The battery down on this. That didn't last long.
Paranormal.
It is. It's a demon, dude. 100%. You agree, too. See, I see that, right?
I saw it in his eyes. His eyes said it
Yeah,
all.
you kind of made a head movement.
Yeah, my eyes do say it all.
His eyes are saying serial killer right now.
Rethinking my life choices.
Just look at it as a vacation.
Mmm.
But you get paid, see. We're all out here
Your own time.
doing this shit on our own time.
I mean, being at the library, that was
Yeah.
besides the jokes and stuff that we've been having fun with here, like that was the high point
Yeah.
for me. I love doing that, getting into the research.
Mhm. So for the recorders, it's raining outside. Can you please knock over the flashlight?
It's pretty good with the sealing the windows because I don't feel any air coming in.
Yeah. And they're definitely older, cheaper windows.
Good. They're not too. They're old. They're not too old. And I've come across no, like where there's like
Yeah.
a half-inch gap between them.
Yeah.
Freak out the neighbors.
Yeah. What was that serial killer's name?
Larry Hall.
Larry Hall.
Yeah. I believe it was Dwayne Larry Hall. Supposedly he had family members that lived in the house. And he was a Civil War reenactment actor. And when they would do,
Yeah, they traveled around,
yeah,
right, with the actors and found his victims.
yeah. So,
How many people?
you know, I don't know, because he confessed, like, allegedly he confessed to murders that he didn't do.
No.
Larry Dwayne Hall is an American kidnapper, rapist, murderer, and suspected serial killer.
Suspected, but yet he's locked up for it.
An aficionado of the American Revolution and Civil War. Hall traveled around the Midwest for historical reenactments and is believed to have abducted, raped, tortured, and murdered dozens of girls and women from Wabash, Indiana. He lived in this house?
No, he like rented a room or something like that when he would come out here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying for sure. I'm not saying
Okay.
that's factual.
Oh, gotcha.
But apparently he had family that lived here, and they let him rent a room.
Wow.
I'll tell you guys more about that off camera.
Oh,
Right.
I actually meant to tell you guys earlier, but
is that what you and Eddie were talking about?
yeah. Rain. It's footstep, guys. It must be pouring out there or something. Oh no, the gutters are messed up.
So I think this is a picture of Ulysses G. Myers and his second wife, Sarah. But the daughter, the little girl, is Emma. This was 1912.
So what is he to the house?
He was when he was married to Mary Myers, that was the abusive relationship. Where she filed for divorce, reconciled, and then he filed for divorce. Kicked her out both times.
I think he moved out. I think he took off.
Yeah. I think he kicked her out, but then he moved. I think because the first time she got kicked out. Because that's what the newspapers.
So with those two names, then what is the alleged haunting?
So one of the things that people.
None.
So one of the.
Joe, what is the?
That's right. You direct those questions to me. All right. So a lot of people here, specifically in the kitchen, it sounds like people screaming and yelling at each other, like an argument's happening. I've never heard that before. So, well, you know, that's what people claim. There are, take this with a grain of salt, but people who, you know, are supposedly psychic mediums that come here and they pick up on an abusive, basically abusive relationship. It's been rumored that there were a married couple who were just horrific to one another, which obviously we can confirm that
Yeah.
that is basically true. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, the kids ended up living with her mother, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the kids ended up living with the mother, and then the wife lived somewhere on Jefferson.
Okay.
So somewhere on the street is where she used to live.
The mom.
Yeah.
For a time she was here, but then she moved to
Yeah.
Fort Wayne. That's where she died. She moved down there with one of her daughters. Because her daughter was in Fort Wayne as well. That's where her daughter died.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of people who say it was one-sided, that he was nasty to her and all this other stuff, but then when you see what's in the papers and stuff like that, it seems like they were just both horrible to each other.
Yeah.
So you have newspaper articles, or is that something?
Well, Kenny has it there, but we do have the newspaper articles.
Okay.
And that part of the documentary, it's already edited. I believe it's already edited in there. See, a lot of people think, way back in the day, it was just men that were horrible to women
Yeah.
and abusive and stuff like that. But that's not true.
Nope. Not true at all.
So is there anybody that we're talking about here?
Yeah, I'm hoping this might trigger something.
Does our presence here, or us discussing this sensitive nature, upset you? Does it bother you? Does it infuriate you? Well, if so, you need to let us know that.
One of the other claims too is that people think there's a mean lady here, like she's mean or something like that. But again, there's nothing that points to a female dying in the house. They were all males. But there are people who believe that it's this demonic entity that is presenting itself as an angry woman. But also, in that story too, there's another story about a suicide that happened here. A woman hung herself. So people believe that may be her, and she ended up mad for whatever reason. But there is no record. Yeah.
I heard that.
It's a demon. I didn't so it's a demon.
Yeah.
But there's no evidence whatsoever to support that there was a suicide here.
Wasn't that supposedly like a ceiling fan? They hung themselves from a ceiling fan?
The first I heard about it, it was the closet in the Ouija board room. And that's the only place that I heard that happened. Now, there was a family who lived here who did claim, and this was back in the 90s, I get where this story originated from one of the families that lived here. There's some claim that they had seen this woman who was angry, or this ghost of a woman who was angry. I believe that family, I think they're in Texas now. I'll have to look, but I think that's where that story came from.
If you want us to leave you alone and leave this room, just simply knock over that flashlight in the middle of the floor. Or if you're enjoying our company, let us know by knocking twice on this wall.
I got one that's gonna prove everything.
Oh, I can't wait.
If you're here with us, don't do anything.
Yo, dude. Whoa, nothing out in here.
That's it, I won.
Checkmate.
Yep.
I'm gonna go back to reading.
That's fundamental,
So I have, this is from 1907, March 15th. It's about the Ulysses Grant Myers, well-known bookkeeper, former paymaster at the Johnston factory, was Friday made the defendant in a divorce suit filed in the circuit court by Mary Myers, who besides a divorce asks the custody of their 3 children, $500 alimony, and $25 monthly for the support of the children. Mr. and Mrs. Myers were married in September of 1886 and lived together until March 1st, 1907, when the plaintiff avers that she was cast upon the street to depend upon the charity of strangers. Her allegations, in part, are that the defendant has been guilty of cruel and inhuman treatment, that he possesses a violent and uncontrollable temper, and at various times became enraged without cause, and on March 11th drove her from their home, giving her no clothing other than what she was wearing, that she was obliged to seek shelter at the house of a neighbor as it was too late in the evening and she had no relatives that she could call on.
If you're here with us, rev your engine.
Drive past this somewhere on the road.
But I don't understand like why he, like this is a violent nature and domestic abuse case, but neither of them died in here.
Right.
They lived here for a short time and were gone. They went and lived their lives out somewhere else. The guy remarried. I don't think she remarried.
There was somebody else. All right. So here's where I'm confused. There's somebody else, or maybe I had figured. I don't remember. But it seemed like there was another guy living with her at some point. He's just like he kind of just came up out of nowhere. I'll have to go back
I found some census records, but nothing with another guy. They have a son, right? 1 to 3 children was a son. So I don't know, maybe that's it, maybe like he stayed with her for, I don't know. Because I was tracking her down, because I came across one website that did pretty decent historical research, but then blew it when it came to applying it to what's happening here. Like all kinds of weird things, but claimed that she disappeared. Mary disappeared. There was no record of her after she left. And I'm like, yeah,
clearly
that's not true because I found her,
right.
you know, her tombstone, her death certificate. I know exactly where she is. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't see why. I mean, there's bad shit that happens. There's fights and stuff, but I don't buy into the idea that.
Well, there's the thought of, you know, the whole residual
thing, yeah.
and, or the demonic entity is mimicking that kind of thing.
That would require a medium that could be recordable, and then we get into the stone tape theory kind of thing. That is more of a movie than anything else. It's a good movie. It's definitely ahead of its time, like Ghostwatch. So if you haven't seen it, watch Stone Tape Theory. It's really good. But there's no recording media. There's no recording mechanism. There's no recording media that would do that in this environment. So again, personally, I don't buy into it. Which is why the flashlight's still up. But I noticed that Jeff's inching closer and closer to it.
I have definitely noticed him kind of like kicking his leg.
I think I can go to the
Listen,
video.
I ain't gonna get away with any bullshit. We've got enough cameras there.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on you. Do it.
That was me.
I'll have to put my phone on airplane mode.
Why, we're not using the apps? Or K2 stuff?
Well, you know, we
stuff.
should be, because that's how ghost stuff works. That's how we're supposed to communicate with ghosts. The K2 meters, and that's how you prove
You
it.
know, we
just
text each
old
other back and
school,
forth.
You're old school.
I can't help if I'm old school.
What do you think of this, Michael? Do you prefer Mike or Michael?
Michael.
Michael, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, he's a man.
Michael Bryce, it sounds like a country musician.
I country music.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Well, he's got the whole Thor look going on.
Oh God.
You look like Thor from Adventures of Babysitting.
Dude! That was the best Thor, man. That's funny. It's always either Thor.
How old are you?
29.
Oh my gosh.
It's always either Thor or Jax from Sons of Anarchy. Those are the two I always get.
So what's your take on all this so far?
I think it's extremely quiet and extremely boring.
Oh, hey, same thing when we were at Shawnee Lake.
Same exact thing.
Nothing happened.
Nothing
I
happened.
wasn't there, so it's not my fault. Can't blame anything. Yeah, 2 data points. I was only there for one. Not the same conditions.
But
No. Well, no, like Joe was saying, you know, I think it's extremely, extremely rare. I full-heartedly believe in it. I don't care too much to convince anyone of that or persuade anyone of that. It's just that's what I know in my heart. So, you know, even Joe, I think it was you and Dawson. I think you guys asked me something along the lines of what got me into it when we were driving to West Virginia. And I said, you know, there's a story I don't share, I never share that story. It's a very personal story. I'm not going to try to use it to convince anyone of anything. I know in my heart I believe it. I also think that since then, there's only been 1 or 2 things that I think maybe could have been something, but I highly doubt it was. And the vast majority of the time, I've never really experienced much. I think it's extremely rare. But I'm definitely still just as passionate about it as I always have been, and I always will be. And yeah, I'm excited and hopeful that I'll experience it again at some point.
I mean, it's really what it really does come down to is our own personal experiences. You know, you're doing this for your reasons. What your experiences are, same thing with you. And Kenny, he was doing it for whatever reason, and then he had an experience that made him go a completely different direction.
Right, exactly.
And that's, you know, where he went
Yeah.
because of those experiences.
Yes. I'm sure anything we hear is gonna be gutters, but
The only thing that I'm hearing is outside.
I heard something back there. I thought, but
Back where, down the hall?
yeah. I could very well be wrong.
If that is you back there making noise, are you able to come into this room here with us? Make noise in here? Again, a knock. Knock over the flashlight in the middle of the floor.
I mean, hell, even footsteps coming in here would be great. Really, I hate asking questions like that. It's silly
The whole
because
thing seems stupid.
it's like it's almost like you're talking to like a child.
Yeah.
And you don't want to. I don't want somebody treating me like I'm some damn child. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, this can't iron on. Good thing I pointed it that way. Not like we don't have enough.
You know, I've said I'll investigate with just about anyone. I mean, there are people I just won't. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who I won't investigate with, but, I think it's funny though, with, you know, to see like investigating with Kenny, it's like, dude, isn't that like, what's that like, kind of thing, like, isn't that scary or whatever?
Isn't that counterproductive?
And it's like, no, because again,
It's like a colonoscopy.
I prefer a root canal, but.
Wow, I'm gonna put this on my resume.
But,
Testimonials.
That's a badge of honor for you.
Yeah.
isn't it?
How the hell is it to investigate with me? It's like a colonoscopy.
without being put to sleep.
I prefer root canals than working with me.
The spiky rod going up your ass, kind of colonoscopy.
Where do you?
I'm just explaining how big of a pain in the ass you are. No.
There's a storefront called Colonoscopies R Us. Buttholes R Us.
Your pain is our gain.
Smile for the camera. That was Michael. His loud ass boots. So you've heard us talking about different people. If we talk about one of you, there's that flashlight.
God damn, he's fucking loud pissing.
Get that with the shotgun, Mike.
We can hear you.
If you're in here with me and you think my penis is big, knock on the wall.
That's dedication.
No, it didn't knock. I figured for sure he'd fucking knock.
It was coming while holding his dick.
He just did knock.
If you're in here with me and you think my penis is small, knock on the door.
So far, our second night of investigating the Monroe house has been quiet. That's typical of any location. Again, I believe that paranormal activity is very rare. Soon we will take Kenny out of the equation as Jeff, Michael, and I investigate on our own.